Okay, trying this again. I'm sick and I forgot how our mic works, so you'll hear it in my voice too. Anyway, I'm playing the Wiz today, just to have a little fun with some low levels. You can see I'm a 25 Wiz with a 25 Shadow Knight, 25 Enchanter, and a 25 Wizard again. There's outside Chamois, as you can tell by the buffs on my bar. And yeah, and I'm doing the explode detonate to just drop this guy right off the bat because every 5 minutes I get to drop somebody, which is the real fun of being a Wiz, right? Alright, the other spells I'm actually using here is the Static Bolt and the Blazing Clash. The Clash is a 20 Clash spell, and you can see I'm casting that as soon as the guy starts walking over because it's such low aggro that I'm not worried about it. Also, I can get in there and whack with the stick for extra aggro, and yeah, I'm still not too worried about it. You can see, definitely get in there with these sticks. Like that's just free 150 damage every round. So yeah, I did stamina up to 100 so I could get the vital body CMs to give me some hit points because Wizzies and all casters are short. As much dex as possible at the end, and intelligence to 100 so I could get the pot CMs. You can see that's all I got, 45 CMs of just 2 vital bodies to get hit points, and then 2 focus and 2 mental clarities for as much pot. I could do more pot by getting like the gnome pot CMs and stuff, but yeah, you can see I'm at 877 hit points, which is pretty decent, and my chamois buffs I think have fallen at this point. So yeah. So I think with the chamois buff I get up to 1,000, but I think I'm 877 with the familiar buff and everything on my own. So yeah, I could definitely take some hits if I pull aggro because I am right up next to him with that whacking stick. I'd highly recommend doing that for any uh, caster class, especially in these earlier levels where you kind of compete with melee or the other classes a bit more, and especially for wizards because you're building decks anyway. You might as well use all you can out of it. Yeah, so what I am doing is basically rotation of the um, Shocking Strike. Sorry, the Clash, the 20 Clash spell, because it's low aggro and it's about 320 damage with this 230 dex. And then the level 1, like 7 POW. Um, it's like 100 damage at this point. So that's like 13 damage to POW for that low level spell. It's basically free damage. So the whacking stick plus the 7 POW like level 1 spell are like free 250 damage. And then the clash spell gives you almost no aggro, another 250 damage. So every time you hit, you're basically doing this cycle of like 500 damage. Again, here's the stick. It's like it's no stats. It's just whatever biggest damage I could find. I am using the gather POW, but I didn't CM them. I'm basically just using those like when I drop the explode and the detonate. I drop those afterwards to just recoup that power. Otherwise, I know they recast a little faster than that, but that just makes it easy to do. But yeah, you'll see I'm doing Blazing Clash and then the level 1 spell. And I'm basically with the just breeze, I'm keeping like max POW. Uh, and then you'll see me occasionally go up 1 to the Shocking Strike to use that. When I think I have aggro to spare or have POW to spare. And usually towards the end of the mob, I'll throw one in. One thing here, the Blazing Clash, like all normal Wizzy spells, have a cast 1, recast 1, so you can kind of go back and forth between 2 of them real fast. But the Blazing Clash has a recast of 2. I don't know if it's a mistake or if this is how it was in live. I gotta check that out. But right now I can't do a quick enough rotation with the Blazing Clash, so I need, sometimes if I'm trying to go real fast, I'll start rotating 3 spells here. I should maybe set up something around that. So here is the, let me pause on this for a second. So the Static Bolt at 230 dex, I'm doing 13 damage per POW. This is why I'm just kicking it out as often as I can. It's only 7 power anyway, it's free. And then the next 2 are 7 damage to POW, but we're still, like, if you're just casting these 3 all day, you're doing very little damage. So I basically cast this and then cast whatever above to fill in the gaps. And you can see there's kind of a pattern here of like the lower the spell, the higher the damage to POW, at least at 230 dex. And then you also see that like the ice and fire at this level are less damage to POW than the electric. So do LR. You can see that's all the only thing I have in my bar is like the detonating explodes and LR basically, and the path spell. Yeah, so basically I'm just doing the 7 here, and then I believe the Clash spell is also in the 5 range. So I'm basically doing a 5 and a 13 damage to POW back and forth, and then occasionally dropping this strike one here when I have some POW to spare. And then these detonates and stuff, again, they're not the most efficient set thing, but, you know, that's why you're a wizzy, to drop those, right? It helps make the grind move a little funner. Yeah. I was probably just explaining this in the thing. Alright, let's skip ahead a little bit. So you might have seen my other video where I'm the enchanter, where I basically did the same thing. I pump decks and then get in there with the whacking stick, and buy those ice CMs. Because yeah, I mean, it's efficient damage. It adds a lot, especially at these levels. Why is this not going? Oh, I hope you're getting sound. Replicate the video exactly. Yeah, he came before I even got that strike down him. So, you know, the clashes aren't perfect, but they're highly reduced, I believe. So I think I looked at the POW path, but it didn't look like a ton. I think later on it does give you like tens of pot, but which is significant for sure. But the option to do lower aggro stuff and just pump out damage without having to worry about it, or you know, have a higher damage rotation without worrying about it. Uh, you know, I like the option myself.